Hey everybody, welcome into Siren Records Monterey. It's Fresh Catch Friday with Cass and Lorain. Cass is here, I'm here. We're going to start with, it's a kind of a very dry week this week, but we got some good stuff for you. So for our picks of the week, Cass always starts us off, and what did you find?
Okay, this week I have this new record from Envy. It's called The Fallen Crimson. Envy is a Japanese emo post-hardcore group from Tokyo. They've been around since the early 2000s, maybe even late 90s, so they've been doing this for a long, long time. It's been 5 years since their last record, so a big hiatus there. They're back, and honestly, this is one of their best records yet for me. Their second record, can't remember what it's called, is really, really great, but this one lives up to that. One of their best for sure. Basically some really passionate, raw vocals on here. Usually Envy albums, the vocalist just mostly does that sort of passionate scream throughout the whole album, but this one he does some more clean vocals here and there, some great melodies. There's some female vocals here too. I don't know if that's a member of the band or not, but they sound really good contrast. And the instrumentals, very post-hardcore leaning, like I said. Very jangly, sharp guitar riffs here and there, a little dissonant, not super melodic, but then coupled with the melodic vocals, it's a pretty interesting mix. The drumming, very hard-hitting, very loud. Just a great record. Some really long songs in here too, maybe a bit of post-rock influence coming in on some of the guitar parts, the more cleaner guitar moments. So, pretty solid release from them. Beautiful artwork, kind of reminds me of the Alce album. Came out, might be the same artist actually, but it's really beautiful. And it's on colored vinyl too, $24.95. I don't know what color, but I think it's like 4 different colors, so
Okay.
something beautiful.
Okay, well,
Check it out.
I listened to that, and I just thought, for me, I didn't think it flowed very well, because like you said, they had some of the instrumental and some of the quieter tracks, as well as the, more hardcore ones with the screaming and but I don't know, something about the flow of it, I thought it was really disjointed. For me it was anyway, but
yeah, I liked that, because usually their records, it's all just like that same screaming vocals track after track, and after like the 5th, 6th song kind of burns down on me after a while, so I liked this.
Well, I liked that they did the different things, but I just sort of felt like it was just choppy. Like it would go from like a nice sweet thing into this.
Maybe the transitions could have been smoother.
I don't know. Maybe that could have been done better. I don't know, but you would know better than me how that goes. So I just thought my 2 cents. Okay, so I have for you this week as my pick this Khruangbin and Leon Bridges, and this is Texas Sun. It's an EP. It's 4 tracks. It's on. Dead Oceans, we like them, right? And we do. So anyway, look at this retro cover art on this. It's just a little more than a small resemblance to Velvet Underground's Loaded.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that till now.
But this one, that one's New York. This one's very much wide Texas, open places. Well, anyway, you've got Leon Bridges from Fort Worth, Texas. You've got Khruangbin from Houston, and they've kind of paired up. This is a real fluid, high plains drifter kind of, very spacey kind of thing. But it's weird how this trio has really accepted having a vocalist, and it really, really works, the combo between these Texans, all of them. But anyway, you'll notice that Leon Bridges kind of is straying further and further away from his kind of, punchy R&B stylings of his first album, and even going into the second one. So he's really versatile. He's coming up with like a lot of different things. This is he's showing a desire to maybe take things slower, and it's like the lyrics are pretty cool in this too. So anyway, really makes for a nice pairing with him and Khruangbin together. And they're just huge right now. I mean, they just blow that stuff out the door all the time.
I think last year that was like the most asked about band with just customers in here, not just online, but like everybody's like, you guys have Khruangbin, it's like every day almost.
Well, I think that, like several of these already got shipped out to online accounts today, right? And anyway, this is on orange vinyl. It's $15.95, and that's pretty good. But yeah, that's especially this opening track of Texas Sun, just gorgeous. Yeah. Okay, do you find anything else you want to showcase?
Yes, I guess I should talk about this. There's a lot to say about this pretty big release today. It's kind of a 2-part thing. It's Gil Scott-Heron. The original album is called I'm New Here, and it's been reimagined by Micaiah McCraven, We're New Again. Basically, the original record came out about 10 years ago, and they're reissuing it for the 10-year anniversary. And this was Gil Scott-Heron's last full studio recording, his full album, before he passed a couple years ago. But the album itself, it wasn't really his idea to make one. He didn't really have much desire to do it, but this producer, I can't remember his name right now, but he really urged Gil to record it. And over like a year or two period, he would send little snippets of vocal stuff, his spoken word stuff. And eventually they kind of compiled the record together, but it definitely felt a little unfinished, because Gil wasn't fully involved in the whole thing, maybe not fully involved in the instrumentals. And it is a great record. I listened to it today. It's really good. It's very electronic influenced, a little trip hoppy here and there. Very strange combination of sounds for his typical style. If you're not familiar with him, his early stuff, very classic, jazz, what's it called, jazz funk and soul, with a lot of spoken word, very political, very philosophical sometimes with his lyrics. But I think what happened here, this drummer, Micaiah McCraven, he's a pretty upcoming drummer from Chicago, which is also where Gil was from. And XL, the label, XL Recordings, wanted him to re-record this album, reimagine it with a new band. And he did just that with a pretty star-studded jazz band as well. I can't remember all their names, but one of the biggest names is Jeff Parker, who recently put out this album, Sweet to Max Brown, which was a huge release a couple weeks ago, actually. So both him, he's playing guitar, and then Micaiah playing drums. Pretty incredible reimagining, honestly. I listened to this, and then I listened to this right after. This definitely sees a lot of these songs in a whole new, light, full instrumental, a full band, almost what it should have been in a way. You got some flutes, guitars, and some just xylophone stuff. Just a full band rendition of this stuff. And it kind of gives his lyrics a bit more punch and power, when the music is actually fitting with the things he's saying when he's talking about running away from his problems or being in a new city, something like that. The original just didn't quite, the instrumentals didn't quite hit as hard as this. So I definitely see why people are going crazy about this, because they are. This is a huge release. I see a lot of people talking about it. So it's a pretty big deal. And of course, Jamie XX did a reimagining of this a few years ago too, which was pretty big. So I guess it's a pretty important album, but it seems like a lot of people are saying this is the definitive reworking. So check them both out. I know a lot of people still like the original, so if you're a big fan, you should buy both.
Well, also, if you get this, we do have a poster that is basically this front cover.
It's really cool.
And it's nice, thick paper, and you get one of those with this, okay?
Nice. So this is $19.95. This is $25.95, and it is colored vinyl, the original album. So
okay. Doesn't say what color.
Pretty cool. I know it doesn't.
No. But this also has bonus vinyl, previously unheard material.
Yeah,
okay.
And don't get me wrong, this is still really good. There's some really interesting instrumental choices on there that I was pretty surprised by. So, okay, and lastly, this came out last week. This is Animals as Leaders. This is their debut album. Came out in 2000, maybe early 2010s. Animals as Leaders is a trio, a progressive metal trio. Probably one of the biggest breakouts of the progressive metal scene in the 2010s. They had a very unique sound that was so groundbreaking. So many bands afterwards were influenced by him. The band is headed by the guitarist Tosin Abasi, who a lot of people consider to be one of the greatest metal guitarists living, and he really is pretty incredible. He kind of made the 7-string, 8-string guitars such a huge thing. These low percussive, chugging stuff, mixed with some really beautiful, just true shredding. But this isn't your normal progressive metal where it's just shredding notes, playing fast as possible. He's definitely trying to create atmospheres, and I think that's what a lot of the bands afterwards couldn't quite capture. So if you like this sound, but you want something with a bit more of a human touch, with a bit more actual emotion in it, the debut Animals as Leader album, really, really great. And it's a little pricey though, $41.95, but it's a double, 2 different color records too, which is kind of cool. So
what
I know
color?
A lot of people waiting for that. Coke bottle clear for one.
Okay.
And clear with aqua blue for
right.
the other.
Thank
Check it
goodness.
out. I've been waiting for a reissue of this for a long time, so I'm pretty excited.
All right. Okay, so something else I wanted to just let you know about is the Chromatics Closer to Grey double LP. This is on Italians Do Better. And this is the anticipated new album from Chromatics. It's 12 new tracks produced by Johnny Jewel, mastered by Mike Bozzi, and cut by Bernie Grundman in Hollywood. This received a 7.1 rating from Pitchfork, and it's their 7th studio album, and it's their first album in 7 years. And, this follows the continuing delay of Dear Tommy. That album's never coming out, is it?
Yeah, no, they always talk about it.
It's been, well, let's see, they've been talking about it. They teased it in 2014, and we're still waiting for it. I don't think it's coming. I don't.
I wonder if some of the songs just ended up being
I don't think so, but
transformed into this. I don't know.
well, this, let's see, Closer to Gray. Well, see, this is a soundtrack, so it's kind of like, you know, I don't
Yeah.
think any of that stuff made it here, but the title track here was released in 2014 through Johnny Jewel's SoundCloud, and that's the same time they started teasing Dear Tommy. But I don't think that the two overlap.
Pulling a tool.
Okay, so the first track, the first track, Sounds of Silence, it's actually a cover of the Simon and Garfunkel song, and On the Wall is a cover of the Jesus and Mary Chain song. This is on Ocean Blue vinyl, and I don't know what this means. It's saying it's on 180 gram scary vinyl, whatever that means. It's 2 LPs. It's $39.95. But finally something from Chromatics. So
I love that cover too.
yeah, it's great. Okay, so I don't know what the movie's all about.
Yeah, I know. I
but,
haven't heard anything about the movie. I didn't realize it was a soundtrack till today.
It says here it is what is that? Something
Suggested for mature audience.
mature. It says sonic discretion and sonic discretion advised. Okay, well that's kind of cool. All right, so my last thing I want to let you know about is shopping, and shopping are 3 people from London and Glasgow, and they've been kicking around for a little while. This is called All or Nothing, and it's on Fat Cat, and they're taking kind of a leap into more of a vibrant and punchy kind of style that's more geared towards pop than some of their previous stuff. Their previous album was called The Official Body, and it was actually named by Pitchfork as one of the best rock albums of 2018. This is a true expansion of their, adding synths and odd rhythms, and it's really their most accessible lyrics and melodies to date. Well, a few songs are a nod to their kind of angular late 70s punk beginnings. This is much more radio-ready pop than you might expect. They have a female vocalist that really reminds me of listening to a Bleached record. Did you hear that in this?
That's the
Those are those sisters, yeah.
Know them too
But
much.
I really felt like if you liked Bleached, you probably would really enjoy this, because that's really what it reminded me. And like I said, it's really more of a pop record than you would expect from these guys. But this is 1995, so it's not that expensive if you want to try something like that. Okay.
Sure. I
And
didn't get a chance to listen to that.
oh yeah, it was good. Okay, so finally we'll just give you a few small things here. It's a small list, so we're not going to be long. First up, Avenged Sevenfold, Diamonds in the Rough. This is on clear vinyl, 2 LPs, $26.95. Now this thing, wow, this is a thick one.
Another
this is
Coil
Swan
reissue.
Yard. It says colored vinyl. Any info about that?
Nope. It's a mystery.
3 LPs, $69.95. You gotta
Alice,
want
pretty
that.
cool.
Okay. Alice Cooper, Last Temptation, 180 gram blue vinyl, $29.95. Now that should be 180 scary gram.
I know,
right?
that makes sense.
I don't know. Okay, now we've got Green Day, Father of All, pink vinyl, $21.95. Listen to this. Totally underwhelmed by this.
The full title is Father of All Motherfuckers.
Oh,
That's
okay.
actually the title.
Okay.
When I heard that title, I didn't have very high hopes, and then we heard the album, and we still didn't have high hopes.
No, well, I mean, it's
But-
kind of like every. They're just like one of the most overrated bands I can think of. Them and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's just like I know. You're just like shrieking in your chair, but
Early Green
sorry.
Day is great. This wasn't even like terrible. It's weird. They've gone in this weird like Strokes, Hives, like garage rock revival direction now. It's really weird. I guess it's better than the last few, but that's really not saying much because the last few were atrocious. So.
All right,
Check
now
it
we've
out.
got a reissue here. Daniel Johnson Fun, $25.95.
Daniel Johnston,
Johnston, sorry.
rest in peace. This is a pretty crazy cover.
Yeah.
I think he drew all the covers himself.
Oh, did he?
So that's why they're
Okay.
always so
Okay.
interesting.
What?
Mind design.
Mind Design Oblique Kitchen,
I guess so. Yeah,
Okay.
he loves to delete the vowels in all his.
$23.95.
words for some
Okay.
reason.
I thought you were going to talk about that one.
Oh,
actually.
I do know him, but I didn't get a chance to listen to this. He's kind of like an electronic producer. I think he sings too, but I haven't listened to this yet. So
Okay.
let us know what you think.
Now we got Steel Drivers, Bad for You, $19.95.
Cool.
Okay, and to round it out, we've got Stone Temple Pilots Perdita, $21.95, and so there's no Lane Stanley here. It's just
Or no, this is Scott Weiland. Scott Weiland.
Right.
I don't know. I think this is all just recorded
Well, it says 10 new songs.
without him, so maybe it's instrumentals only. Because I don't even know if they have a singer now. Because they were singing with Chester from Linkin Park, but he passed away as well.
Lane Stanley. Sorry,
So this
that's
might just be
Alice in
instrumentals.
Chains. Right.
So this is kind of a tribute to Scott, I suspect. And
Okay.
the cover very solemn. So check this out if you're an STP fan. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm going to listen to this today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I tend to get a lot of these grunge ones.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
They're
people
all-
say Scott kind of ripped a lot of those 90s guys off anyway,
Wow.
so.
Is what it is. Okay, so to wrap it up for you, again, if you are, not local and you want to buy any of this stuff, you certainly can check out our place on Discogs under the Record Mule. That's our sister site. Reverb closing down their vinyl area, so everything's going to have to go through Discogs at that point. So if you're used to buying from Reverb, you might want to check out Discogs and fish around over there. Oh, the other thing, you know what? Sometimes my faith in humanity is restored. Got to give a big shout out to my friend Scott, who actually did come up with a Sinead O'Connor ticket for me. So that's next Wednesday, and I am so happy and so grateful. And thank you, Scott. Thank you. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to that. Other than that, open 12 to 4 tomorrow and Sunday. And then we'll be back as usual next week. And we will.
Week until
yes,
Tame.
Yes, we're going to have some good stuff for next Friday's release. So this was a short stack, but there should be better stuff next Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
next week's going to be big.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.